So Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes found themselves back on the trail this week, but this time it wasn't for recruiting. This time it was trying to fill a vacancy they had on their coaching staff, as Colorado Buffaloes defensive tackles coach Patrick Hill is set to take an opportunity in the NFL, leaving Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes with an opening they wanted to fill quickly. And based on recent reports, they may have found their guy, a name that Colorado fans need to be over the moon about, but that college football fans need to be aware of. And because of that, we're going to break it all down today. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. If indeed the reports are true and Sal Sunseri is the name, are you excited by this hire by Coach Prime? Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions are massive, and we're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this unbelievable community. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And as I stated in the intro, this week Colorado found themselves with a vacancy on that coaching staff, as Patrick Hill is set to make a move from the Buffaloes to the NFL. And if you talk to those in coaching circles, Patrick Hill is regarded as an up-and-comer in the industry, someone that's going to have a bright future, and because of that, I'm really interested to see what the future holds for him. But for Colorado, this left them in a position where they had an opening on that coaching staff, specifically at the defensive tackles position, something that Coach Prime and Colorado wanted to address. They were very excited whenever they hired Patrick Hill from LSU, where he was a defensive analyst, but now they're back at square one, where they have got to go back to the drawing board. And this week, multiple reports have come out stating that there are several names they're looking at. However, over the past 24 hours, several reports have come out all stating the same name, and that's Sal Sunseri, a current coach on the Alabama Crimson Tide staff in an off-role position, but a name that if you talk to Alabama fans, they hold in very high regard. But before we can keep talking about what a big move this is, we need to talk about what a big move it is that Homefield is working with the channel. Guys, I've talked about this before. Homefield is my go-to shop for college football apparel and fanwear. One thing that's super in right now is vintage logos, and in my opinion, Homefield has the best. And what's more, they're hooking it up for viewers of Around the Table Sports. Because if you use my link down in the description and at checkout use code ATTS15, you'll get 15% off new customers' first orders. Once again, use the code down in the description at checkout. Use code ATTS15 for 15% off new customers' first orders. Thank you so much to Homefield, and back to the video. So let's start breaking this down. First and foremost, who is Sal Sunseri? Well, Sal Sunseri is a very experienced coach at the college game, coaching at multiple big institutions, whether we're talking about Louisville, where he coached linebackers, LSU, where he was linebackers and special teams, Michigan State, where once again linebackers, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida State, and Florida. This is a guy that's coached at several big institutions in several capacities, and if you're a Colorado fan already, that's a compelling factor. The experience he brings to the table, the recruiting grounds he has access to, something you have got to be over the moon about. But put a pin in the recruiting, because we're going to come back to that. The other thing you need to know about Sal Sunseri is his experience is not just relegated to the college game. He has NFL experience as well, where he coached with the Carolina Panthers on the defensive line, and then the Oakland Raiders as linebacker coach. So this is a coach that has NFL experience. He has college experience. And one thing, if you've been on the channel before, you've undoubtedly heard me say it, that has got to be a compelling factor for these athletes. Put yourself in their position for a second. Imagine you're sitting down in a room and you have a college coach in front of you, which is already a compelling factor. But then walks in one of his assistant coaches, an assistant coach that is coached at such prime institutions, that's coached alongside of names like Nick Saban and has coached in the NFL. That's a compelling factor. And now it's not only Coach Prime, it's Coach Kelly, it's Sean Lewis, it's Sal Sunseri if this hire goes through. This is what I've been trying to say. Coach Prime is assembling a legit coaching staff at Colorado. It's not just the presence of Coach Prime, though that is something that moves the needle. If you look top to bottom, this staff he's assembled is so impressive. And if this hire goes through, in my opinion, it will have taken a significant step up. And that's just my opinion. But let's first talk about why. Well, Sal Sunseri was an individual that when he first got back to Alabama, because he was with Alabama previously, left and then came back, he was coaching the outside linebackers. And the biggest name that people are going to associate with Sal Sunseri is Will Anderson. However, Sal Sunseri was taken off of outside linebackers and put in an off-field capacity, and many around the Crimson Tide fan base were wondering if Nick Saban would move him back on field. Many around the fan base wanted him moved back on field because of the coaching prowess he brings to the table. However, that move never came, and now it's Colorado that's going to be nabbing him for an on-field role. But earlier I told you I wanted to put a pin whenever we were talking about recruiting. Let's revisit that topic, because recruiting is a major part of college football. I always liken college football to building a house. Recruiting is the foundation. If your foundation is not good, you're going to have a really hard time succeeding in building your house. That's one of the reasons why not only myself, but so many people around the industry are covering Colorado right now. Well, whenever we're talking about Sal Sunseri, when we start talking about the recruiting, it gets a little bit wild, because the names I'm about to give you are just some of the blue chip 4-star names and 5 stars. And I'll tell you when we get to the blue chip 4 stars. First and foremost, we have Josh Sweat, Jalen Ramsey, Will Anderson, Jeremiah Alexander, Chris Braswell. Those are your 5 stars. Here are your blue chip 4-star guys that he recruited and helped recruit to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Demoy Kennedy, who now Colorado fans are very familiar with because he finds his way from Tuscaloosa to Boulder, Colorado, where he is going to be a massive help to that linebacker room. I can't wait to see what Demoy Kennedy does. I'm hoping he has a big year. Very talented individual. Remember, whenever we talked about Demoy Kennedy, he was somebody that the Crimson Tide utilized at running back whenever they had injuries there. So, real versatile athlete. How about Deontay Lawson? If you're an Alabama fan watching this video, you instantly know that name because that's your presumptive starter at inside linebacker. We talked about this not long ago when we were previewing that inside linebacker battle for the Crimson Tide. One of the names I think everybody presumes is Deontay Lawson. Who's going to be the other name? That's the question everybody has. But Sal Sunseri played a hand in getting Deontay Lawson, and one of the names everybody throws around, Sean Murphy, who Sal Sunseri also played a hand in getting. So this is a guy in Sal Sunseri that not only has great college football experience, he has NFL experience. He's been regarded as a real good on-field coach, and he can recruit his tail off. If you're Colorado, this is something that if this goes through, this was a fantastic hire. And like I said, in my opinion, took your staff a level up. And I have been praising your staff. And this is not a shot at Patrick Hill. It's just Sal Sunseri is proven. He is a veteran in this game. And what a great hire if this indeed goes through. But I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.